welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Sephora collection Satin Hydrating Lipsticks. If you do want to see a review and a demo, then please keep watching. As a huge favor, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment anything down below. I greatly appreciate it. I read all the comments and I will do my best to reply back. I purchased all 20 shades in this collection. It came in this little plastic bag. Each lipstick retails for $15. I do want to read a little bit about these lipsticks. A flexible satin lipstick that delivers vibrant, long-lasting color and 8 hours of hydration with just one swipe. Here's a closer look on what the lipstick tube looks like. It says Sephora all around, and then up at the top you have the shade name. This shade is 01. On the bottom it says that these lipsticks were made in France. You get 3.5 grams of product or 0.12 ounces. On the side of the packaging next to the barcode you have the shade name printed. Again, this shade is 01 Never Ending. I like that there's no plastic, it's just this one sticker here. So let's open this up. Here's how much product comes inside of the tube. It also says Sephora embossed on the lipstick. 01 Never Ending is described as a beige pink. Wow, that is super pigmented with one swipe. Here's what the shade in 01 Never Ending looks like. This is such a beautiful shade. The next shade is called 02 One More Round. 02 One More Round is described as a bluish pink. This shade is gorgeous. Here's what the shade in 02 One More Round looks like. Another beautiful shade. The next shade is called 03 Big Hit. .03 Big Hit is described as a nude shade. That shade is so pretty. Here's what the shade in 03 Big Hit looks like. Again, this shade is gorgeous. Next up, we have 04 Unconditional. .04 Unconditional is described as a pink. Again, another gorgeous shade. Here's what the shade in 04 Unconditional looks like. Again, this shade is stunning. Next up, we have 05 Can't Stop. 05 Can't Stop is described as a coral pink. That shade is gorgeous. Here's what the shade in Can't Stop looks like. Again, another beautiful shade. Next up, we have 06 Full Ignition. .06 Full Ignition is described as a soft beige. This shade might be a little bit too light for my skin tone, but let's see what it looks like applied on the lips. Here's what the shade in 06 Full Ignition looks like. This shade does wash me out a bit. Let's pair it with a dark brown lip liner. I lined my lips with a dark brown lip liner. Now let's apply the shade in 06 Full Ignition. Here's what it looks like paired with a lip liner. Now it's definitely wearable in my opinion. Next up, we have 07 Push the Limit. .07 Push the Limit is described as a pink nude. Again, another beautiful shade. Here's what the shade in 07 Push the Limit looks like. This shade is beautiful as well. The next shade is 08 Stronger Than Ever. .08 Stronger Than Ever is described as a brown. Wow, another beautiful shade. Here's what the shade in 08 Stronger Than Ever looks like. This shade would be perfect for fall. The next shade is called 09 Undisciplined. .09 Undisciplined is described as an amber nude. That is really beautiful. Here's what the shade in 09 Undisciplined looks like. Another amazing ball shade. Next up, we have shade number 10 in More is More. More is More is described as an orange red. Ooh, that is really beautiful. Here's what the shade in More is More looks like. It's definitely not my vibe, but it is pretty. Next up is shade number 11 in Excessively Good. Excessively Good is described as a red shade. Here's what the shade in Excessively Good looks like. As you all know, I'm not a huge fan of how red looks on me. Let's see what the next one looks like. The next shade is number 12, Not Too Much. Number 12, Not Too Much, is described as a burgundy shade. Here's what number 12, Not Too Much, looks like. This shade is really pretty. Shade number 13 is called Super Bold. Super Bold is described as a purple. Here's what the shade in Super Bold looks like. I expected the shade to be a little bit more pigmented. As you can see, it looks a little bit uneven and patchy on my lips. Here's what the first 13 shades look like swatched on the back of my hand. I do want to see if these transfer. They do transfer. Next up, we have shade number 14 in Unlimited Intensity. Unlimited Intensity is described as a plum. This plum shade looks stunning. Here's what the shade in Unlimited Intensity looks like. As you all know, I love my purples. This shade is gorgeous. Shade number 15 is called Explosive Game. Explosive Game is described as a fuchsia pink. That shade is vibrant. Here's what the shade in Explosive Game looks like. Again, this shade looks a little bit uneven on my lips. You can see my dark upper lip peeking through. Next up, we have shade number 16 in Fierce Fire. Fierce Fire is described as an orange. Wow, that is super pretty as well. Here's what the shade in Fierce Fire looks like. Again, this shade isn't as pigmented. You can see my dark upper lip peeking through. It looks very uneven and patchy on my lips. Shade number 17 is called Extra Pulse. Extra Pulse is described as a brick red. Here's what the shade in Extra Pulse looks like. This shade is actually really pretty. Next shade is called Extreme Power. This is shade number 18. Extreme Power is described as a rosewood. This shade is so gorgeous. Here's what the shade in Extreme Power looks like. This shade would be great for every day. The second to last shade is called Megawatt. This is shade number 19. Megawatt is described as a rusty orange. Here's what the shade in Megawatt looks like. Another stunning shade for fall. This is the type of opacity I was expecting from shade number 16. If you're looking for an orange shade, I would highly recommend the shade in Megawatt. The last shade is called Never Enough. This is shade number 20. Shade number 20, Never Enough, is described as an old rose. This shade is beautiful as well. Here's the last shade in number 20, Never Enough. Again, another beautiful shade. Here's what the last 7 shades look like swatched on the back of my hand. There were 4 shades in this collection that I did not like. Shades number 13, 15, and 16. These 3 shades applied very patchy and uneven on my lips. I would not recommend. Shade number 6 is too light for my skin complexion. I don't see myself reaching for it. Besides those 4 shades, I really do like this formula. I do want to do a kiss test on the back of my hand just to see how much transfer we get. That's a lot of product that came off on the back of my hand. Here's what my lips look like. As you can see, my dark upper lip is starting to peek through. I applied 2 coats of each shade on my lips. With one swipe, it wasn't fully pigmented. I did have to apply a second layer to even it out. If you don't have pigmented lips like I do, I think you'll be fine with 1 coat. Let me know in the comments down below which shade was your favorite. If you guys did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video.